Hi everyone. So lovely and hot today, so I thought I would film something outside. Not too sure if it's too bright. And I have lined the camera up with the horizon in a straight line, but I think it's actually the ground that's very wobbly. So it might look like I am practicing uphill, and if I am, that's okay. This is Nipster, the toy fox terrier, who is adorable 1 minute and a pain in the bum the other. But he's my pain in the bum, and I love him. He's always covered in lipstick. Come on then, Pip. Find a comfortable seat. We call this easy seat, Sukhasana, in yoga, but it's not very easy for some, especially if you have dodgy knees, dodgy hips. So if that's the case, no problem with sitting like this, sitting more in a box shape, sitting with your legs outstretched. Just find something that's comfortable for you. Even though my knees are not low, this is actually very comfortable for me. So just wiggle around, nestle your bum into your mat. As long as you can sit with a long spine, you're doing fine. Place your hands anywhere on your thighs that is comfortable so you can relax your shoulders. Sit up tall, reach through the crown of your head. Soften your face, release any tension in your jaw. Sometimes I wiggle just to make sure I'm not holding on to anything there. And now that you're comfortable physically, begin to notice your breathing. If you've been on a rush to get to your mat, you might have to just really slow your breathing down. So inhale for the count of 4. Exhale for the count of 4. And your breath will slow down all by itself. We call this samavritti, equal fluctuation. So the inhale and the exhale are the same length. And this brings about a sense of ease, calm, and balance in your nervous system. Learning how to breathe well is vital in yoga, on your mat and off your mat. Obviously we all breathe, we wouldn't be here if we weren't breathing. But to breathe well, to really fill your lungs fully and to expel all of the air fully, and to be able to use your breath as a tool to calm you down, to deal with pain, to deal with grief, to rev you up if you need more energy. It's an excellent tool that we have at our disposal. We just need to maybe learn from somebody else, learn from YouTube videos, reading a book about breathing, but just learning how to breathe well and how to use your breath as a guide to help you, as a tool. And now inhale for 4, hold for 4. Exhale for 4, hold for 4. So inhaling 4, pause 4. Exhale 4, pause 4. If that's too much, just inhale for 4, pause for 2. Exhale for 4, pause for 2. You'll find your own rhythm that works for you. The point here isn't to get it right, it's to feel a sense of calm and ease. And if you do, then by definition, you're breathing well. Now we could do a whole class about breathing, but this is just a snippet, just to arrive on your mat. And then bring your hands together, rub them together. And then just hold them here in front of your chest. And just take a moment to give thanks for this amazing body that you have. The fact that we can move on our yoga mat. It's cause for celebration, so just give thanks. Even if you're just thanking your body. And then release your hands down to your legs and begin moving in fluid circles. And this is where you'll find, oh, my hips are tight today, or my knees. So just really focusing on your body and any sensation. And in this way, you're using your body as a meditation tool, cutting out all of that extra mental chatter that goes on, all the ruminating thoughts that we have, letting all of that go by just focusing on your body and your breath. Switch direction. And I'm keeping my glasses on, 1, because they have a prescription and I can see the camera, and 2, because it's really bright out here. And I don't want to damage my eyes anymore. They're already deteriorating with age. I don't need to add to that by not wearing sunglasses. Come to center and inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, press them out and down. Inhale, lift up. Maybe your palms touch, maybe they don't, it doesn't matter. Exhale, down. This time bring the backs of your hands towards each other. So this gives me much more openness in my shoulders. And exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Hold it here. And then as you exhale, exhale over to your right or left, it doesn't matter. Reach as far as you can. Pause. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to the other side. Complete the movement, so pause at the end, not being in a hurry to move on. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. Get a little rhythm going, so you're inhaling to lift, exhaling to sink. Up and down, and you can quicken the pace. Ooh. One more to each side. And then come to center. Inhale, reach up, and this time we'll twist. So twist to one side. Inhale, unwind and reach your arms long to lengthen your spine. And exhale, twist to the other side. Unwind to center, reach your arms up. Twist. Complete the movement. Inhale up. Twist to the other side. Inhale up to center. And now, as if you were diving over a big beach ball, so a big long arc in your spine, dive over the beach ball, fingertips come to the floor and just, or the earth, depending on where you are, and just sway from side to side. I like this because it gets rid of a little bit of tension that I'm holding in my hips. Even though I'm very athletic and active, I do sit a lot. I sit far too much. And I get very tight in my hip flexors, my hips. Walk your hands over to one side on a diagonal and pause. Full inhale, complete exhale. That sounds like I'm an athlete. I'm not an athlete. But I do a lot of hiking, a lot of cycling, a lot of paddle boarding, a lot of yoga, a lot of Pilates. So I guess that's being an athlete, isn't it? I don't want to sound grandiose. Come to center. I do it all with a very easeful mindset, not competitive really. And then walk your hands over to the other side. I'm quite lazy actually when I work out. I take a lot of breaks. Come to center and then walk your hands in and then bring them behind you. Press your fingertips down and inhale, just lift your chest, lift your face. Just a very gentle extension of your spine. Lifting up. If it's comfortable, you can put your head all the way back, but please don't do that if you feel any discomfort whatsoever. And then very slowly come up. And let's come to all fours. I'm just dusting off all the dirt here. And if you have anything that's going to distract you, whether it's jewelry, hair, just get rid of the distraction. Do what you need to do. Let's come to all fours. Fiddle with the clothes pose. Good. And we'll practice some lubrication and mobility of the spine in cat-cow. So inhale, begin drawing your chest forward, and your hips will lift all by themselves. On an exhale, round your spine, big arc. Let your head be heavy, looking back at your thighs. Pull your belly up. Inhale, soften your elbows, drop your belly towards the earth. Draw your chest forward and up, and your hips will lift all by themselves. They know what to do. And then exhale, round. And then keep going in your own steady rhythm. And I like to do this sometimes high on my fingertips, just to use my hand muscles. And in another fashion, somebody with wrist issues could use these little babies, these little blocks. Come onto your forearms and continue cat-cow. And then you've taken your wrists out of the equation. So you can always modify poses to suit yourself. And then come to a neutral spine. Push them off to the side. So come to neutral. And then as you inhale, lift your right leg up and reach it back. Keep it in line with your body. You don't want it going up too high. Level off your hips, pull your belly up, and then reach forward with the opposite arm. And then you're looking down at the mat so that the back of your neck is nice and long. Let your body wobble just naturally. That's how it finds balance. And breathe. Most important to keep breathing and not hold your breath. Now make sure you're using your core here and you're not just collapsing into your supporting shoulder. Lower your hand, lower your knee. Come into child's pose. Just press your hips back to your heels. Have your hands wide. And you can lower your head towards the mat. It doesn't have to go all the way down. Breathe. This is where you press the pause button. Come back up to all fours. Inhale, lift the other leg up, lengthen out. Level your hips, pull your belly up, reach forward with the opposite arm. And just let your body find its own balance by wobbling a little bit or a lot. 3 to 5 breaths here. Lower your hand, lower your knee, tuck your toes and lift your knees up so that they're just hovering off the mat. A little bend in your elbows. So you're forced to use your muscles with a bend in your elbows. We're just activating our core a little bit here, hovering your knees. And then send your legs back into a plank. You're looking a little bit further ahead of your hands. Micro bend in your elbows to use your muscles. Come forward on your toes and then press your heels back, forward and back, and then hold in the center. Little lift of your belly. And then lower one knee, lower the other knee. Come into child's pose, but this time, bring your hands next to your feet and lower your forehead to the mat. Press the pause button, catch your breath. We're moving fairly gently, especially as it's so hot on the mat. Bring your body up so that you're sitting on your heels. Now, anybody with knee issues would put a blanket or a towel behind their knees. And just pause here for a moment. Nice long spine. Rest your palms on your thighs. This is beneficial to me because it stretches across my knees a little bit, but without going too much, without doing too much. Lots of pollen out here today. I don't have allergies, but the amount of pollen is going to bother anybody, whether they have allergies or not. Good. Let's come forward, back into all fours, preparing for downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, but keep a generous bend in them so that you can really push all of your weight back. Step back a little bit. So you're in a crouching dog, really pushing your hips back, thighs back. Try not to dip your chest too low here. It puts too much pressure in the back of your neck, upper back and shoulders. So if you're super flexible, have the discipline to lift out a little bit. And you want your ears in line with your arms. And then you can move your legs towards straight. They don't have to be straight. And just hold this dog while you pedal your feet. Press one heel down, bend the opposite knee. Press heel down, bend the opposite knee. Just go slowly to begin. In life, we tend to always be rushing to reach some kind of end point. But on your mat, see if you can really notice every single movement, every single breath without the urge to rush on. And then just come to stillness. Bend your knees deeply and then look forward and launch yourself off high on your toes, round your back like you did in cat. And come forward and level off into a plank. Lift your hips high, come back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, press back, push forward, rounding and leveling. Plank. Plakasana. Lift your hips up, press back to downward facing dog and hold. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Have some softness in your knees. This isn't really about stretching, it's more about letting go. So let your upper body, your whole torso be heavy. Now if you've got some tension building up in your wrists, here's where you can release that. Take the backs of your hands to the mat or blocks. Curl your fingers in and out of fists. Let your head hang heavy. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. And here's where I will use my little tools here, these blocks, just to show you how you can bring the floor closer to you using blocks. Bring your hands onto your shins and inhale as you lift yourself halfway up. Straighten your legs without locking your knees. Your arms are fairly straight. Spine is long, crown of your head reaching towards the top of your mat. Just pause here. Now bring your hands onto your thighs and engage them and then release them. Engage, release, engage, release. And now you know what it feels like to hug your muscles to the bones. Engage your thighs, hold here. Now when you did that, did you grip your toes? You need to grip a certain amount for balance, but are you over gripping? Inhale, and as you exhale, soften your knees and fold forward again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deep. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deep. And then inhale, halfway lift. Bring your thumbs up to your hip creases. Draw your elbows towards each other. And then soften your knees so that you're in more of a crouching, like a chair pose. And use your strong legs to push yourself up to stand. Reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands to prayer. And then release them by your sides, coming into mountain pose. So what does mountain pose look like? It's home base for all of the standing postures. Feet parallel, hip distance apart. So that's feet, knees, hip bones, all in one line. Not the outside of your hip, but the bones here, center of your thighs. Standing up nice and tall. Open, broad chest. If you were to look at yourself from the side, ankle, knee, hip bone, shoulder, ear, all aligned and stacked. Some of us have a tendency to press our hips forward, rounding the shoulders. We try to draw the shoulders back, but it doesn't fix the problem. You have to draw your hips back. So nice, tall mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale, lift your arms up. Bend your knees, exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold deep, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, hands to prayer, Samastiti. And then release to Tadasana. Now you don't have to learn the Sanskrit terms. I just have a fascination with language, so I really, really enjoy doing it. And the lineage of teachers that went before me taught us that. But it's not necessary. It depends on your passion. So inhale, lift. Exhale, fold deep. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer, and then down by your sides. This is a half sun salutation. Really good for warming up your body. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come down and settle by your sides. Lots of ways to say this, yeah? You can get really flowery with your language. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold to the earth. Inhale, lift halfway between the two. Exhale to the earth. Inhale, lift up to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer. And then down by your sides. But that language doesn't speak to everybody, so you can become much more practical. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold your body down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold to your feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach your arms overhead. Exhale, hands to your chest and then down by your thighs. Lots of different ways of doing the same thing. Let's move on from there and do a sun salutation or a modification of. So we're going to start at the top of the mat this time. Mountain pose. Ooh, my feet are burning. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Now you can step back to plank, but my preference is stepping back to downward facing dog. It's a good preparation. Roll yourself into plank. Put your knees down. Keep a plank shape with your body. And then very slowly bend your elbows. Just let them move naturally. If they poke out to the sides, let them do it. Lower your pelvis, lower your belly, lower your chest, lower your forehead. I'm not going to lower my forehead into the dirt, but anyway, untuck your toes. Now I'm not a fan of cobra, so we're not going to do that. Bring your arms out more like a goalpost. Just have them comfortable. So elbows out to the side, hands out to the side, and just press up to a baby back bend. Lift your belly button up off the mat to support your low back. Press your feet down, energize your legs and glutes. And then lower yourself down. Let's do that one more time. Tops of your feet press down, knees lift, bum muscles engaged. Press yourself up, lift your belly off the mat. Lift your head long, so really moving out of your shoulders. Lower down, and now bring your arms by your sides so that your fingertips are under your shoulders. Push up to your knees first. Tuck your toes. Press up to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. And then look towards your hands. Walk your feet forward. Walk your hands back. And then inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Back to mountain pose. Fiddle with the clothes pose. Adjust your sunglasses. Move to the top of your mat. My feet are burning, but I'm going to suffer for you. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, half lift to prepare. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Roll into a plank. Knees up or down. Yogi's choice, lower to the mat. Bring your hands away from your body, a little further forward, so maybe in line with your head, like goalposts. Press up. Come down. Move your hands back in. Tuck your toes. Push up to your knees first. Downward facing dog. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle the feet into position. Now last time we walked, feet forward, hands back. This time look forward. Step 1 foot forward. Step the other foot forward. Lift halfway up. And exhale, fold deep. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Down by your sides. Dust off your hands if you're outside. Inhale up. Look up, come into a little back bend here. Use your bum muscles for support. And then exhale, swan dive. All the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. This time we'll step straight back to plank. Hands to the mat. Take as many steps back as you like. Come into plank, my favorite pose. Bring one foot on top of the other. So between the big toe and the next toe, just nestle the back of your heel. Ooh, someone's come in, the dog's gonna bark. Separate, other side. Separate, and then lower to the mat. Arms out. Inhale to a back bend. Ooh, I love back bends. Come down to the mat. Draw your hands in. Tuck your toes. Push up to a plank. Back to downward facing dog. Now this time you can bring your feet together, look forward and hop gently. Come into a halfway lift and fold. Scoop yourself all the way up or sweep yourself all the way up. Hands down, back to your sides. Good. So that was just a little snippet. Oh, my feet are burning. Half sun salutation, full sun salutation. Practice these every day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then just come to mountain pose and just let everything slow down. You're breathing. I love the idea of stirring energy up and then using your breath to settle it all down. Thank you so much. Ready for some water, Pipster? Let's go inside where it's cool and have some nice cold water. Yes. You want to do that? Yep. Come on.